option. He tried to get a shot down on the opponent, but unfortunately, he's just going to be receiving quite a bit amount of damage. But unfortunately for Zuza as well as Darko, both of them being knocked down. It is going to be a face-to-face battle. Umbak as well as Joker. How is things supposed to be working out for now? A piece all alone as Hazik and Shoyu is also knocked down. 1v2 though, and Geek Fam has been eliminated right off the bat before the first circle has even emerged.
This is the biggest difference between the play-ins and the grand finals. Play-ins, you only had 9 teams. It was very spread out. You definitely had some room to maneuver around. In this one with 12 teams, there's really no room to move. It's either you have to run away, you try to pick up a utility elsewhere, but then you're conceding ground. Geek Fam was at a huge disadvantage to start off, and then the entire team was wiped out.
All eyes in the southern side of the island here. In of the island, we do observe quite a bit of teams that's actually in the northern side. So we're looking at HQ Esports, we're looking at Loud, Evolve Divine. We also have one member coming in from BDS. The way that they're moving is most likely they're going to be moving down south right into Bimasati Strip, and that is going to bump them right on top of First Raiders. First Raiders should know that they are way too close into the center of the map. So the thing that they should do is get themselves a little bit closer to the center of the circle.
Yeah, and they got to do that. But if you're looking at 3 teams, they're being very greedy, right? I mean, it's the first circle. You don't need to panic too much, but they are a ways away. Silence is way up in the north. Loud is up next, and Evo's kind of a little bit closer. It's going to be very difficult for them to try to make their way to the circle, especially since First Raiders are kind of in that top area, and they could look to maybe do a little pincer maneuver later.
You know, we talked the very likely of Loud as they, well, bump themselves from buildings to buildings.
Right. Skyrox and DD, both of them just ziplined in very close, and they're going to know that all of the loot has been gone. Loud has already looted everything, and they're making their way around, but they're going to be completely surrounded right now, and Silence are
in together at this moment in time. We do have First Raiders. They're still holding themselves up right inside of the big building, and this doesn't seem like things are going to be looking well for them. While Silence, they do have a little bit of eyes onto Loud, as Loud Kaon gets himself one onto Sam, and this is not the fight that I was expecting. I was expecting that Loud is the one that's going down instead of Evolve Divine. How is things going to unfold as we look at Kaon slowly jumping down the building?
Yeah, Will got picked off from Loud. Sammy got picked off from Evos as well. So I mean, they're not coming home unscathed. They did get some damage there, but I mean, this is a pretty big skirmish in the south right now. And you know, Phoenix are there, Phoenix Fire, HQ Esports, First Raiders, all within the vicinity. Not to mention LGDS and BTS right now are looking to zipline right onto Phoenix Fire.
And just like that, even though we do have the Time Turner being popped right up, we've got another Time Turner coming from corners as he jumps himself, launches himself away. Skyrix gets himself the elimination right down on Noda. This is looking to be bad as Kronos is going to be the last man remaining. We saw him catapulting himself right into the air, so at least he will be okay. Nestled down in the southern part of Catalystowa, no one will find him. The only thing that he gotta do now is to play safe, play things slow. Don't engage with the opponents, go for the placements.
Yeah, and Loud here, completely different from the play-ins, understanding that with more pressure, more aggressive, I mean, there's just more teams, right? So they're gonna jump on you. Last time in the play-ins, they had all day. You didn't really see these guys until like 10 minutes into the game. This time, they're getting picked off, and Kronos right now, last survivor, he just wants to save for points.
And for now, VIP Esports all the way in the bottom side. Down south, we are looking at them still coming in close with Team Ace. I'm surprised these two have not come into, well, any deep action just yet. I think that either one of them decided to play things slow. They definitely saw the opponents, but they do not want to get themselves into any action. They just want to hold their ground, see how things are going to be like, and then slowly make their way into the center of the circle, because they don't really need to force this fight unless they are 100% certain or they are 100% confirmed that they have a better position. And at this point of time, VIP Esports, they definitely have got a better position as compared to Team Ace as they take the fight from the high ground. Grenades being tossed over and over, lobbed it all in. Ninja received a bulk of damage as his HP is down to a critical amount of health. Tariq takes one for the team. He also got himself a single kill. While it is just a simple knockdown, it is not an elimination for now. Massive amount of glue walls being propped right onto this side of the ridge as we've got Ninja being in front of the enemy's line. He's literally in everyone's crosshairs as Tariq is still holding himself right behind this tree. He finds himself another one on Naruto. He gets one for himself, and that is going to be 2v2, or rather, we've got Shadow all alone right now. 1v1. He's got to do something about this ASAP, but it doesn't seem like things are looking good at all. He runs himself right in between, was hoping that he'll be able to do something against Team Ace, to do something against the last member remaining, but VIP Esports, he found himself dumbfounded, flabbergasted, as all of the team, all the team members from Team Ace has already been resurrected.
Yeah, and Ace here, they were going up in what was a trap by VIP. They thought they had the high ground. They thought they were walking in and they were just going to destroy everybody. But Ace was just able to outplay that one, made a very decisive move and completely wiped them out, proving to be the far superior team as they're up 3-0. I mean, yes, they lost Carlos, which is their 2020 MVP, which is pretty massive, but going in, that's still, when you got an entire team wipe, that's a good one.
12th place and 11th place has already been crowned, and thus VIP Esports and so Geek Fam, they will not be receiving any placement points for themselves. From this point onwards, we will be looking at placement points for the 10th place with 1 point, followed by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to the first place with a total of 12. Which team is going to be the one that holds out the longest? Will Loud be able to get themselves to the podium finish despite only having one member left?
Yeah, look where he is. He's on the entire western side of the map right now. He's completely by himself, maybe just hiding in a corner, maybe crying, singing a lullaby. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's all by himself. That's where he needs to be. He needs to be safe. But if we're looking more towards the middle, man, this is where the circle is, and things are going to start happening as that the next circle starts to close in on everybody.
Too many things going on here within our factory. Let's summarize things for a little bit. We do have First Raiders down south of factory. We do have Phoenix Force up north, a little bit towards the western side, if I may. They are just right around the outskirts of factory, inside of factory, and I would like to believe that they are holding up onto the second floor as well as the rooftop. It is going to be Burst the Sky. So, you know, BTS, they're holding in well. I believe that they're probably going to have their BTS concert inside of this factory sometime soon. But we also are going to be looking at Silence, where they maybe would want to silence this, well, this performance.
Yeah, right now you need to just fortify, bunker down. There's no need to panic. There's no need to go out, especially if you've got all the, the utility and you've already picked up all the inventory that you need. There's no need to be aggressive. Oh. As I say that, Mr. 05 and Kronos is making some plays all by himself. This is the lone wolf, and Kronos is gonna get at least a kill for Loud there.
Well, it is not executed just yet, though. It is a single knockdown. He exposed his position, and he knows that he may very well be in danger. And all the other teams in this current map, they definitely know that Loud will looking at one last straggler. Because if they paid attention to the kill feed, they should know that 3 of the members from Loud is already dead. And Kronos, being the last man remaining, I'm surprised that HQ Esports did not just rush into the face of Loud, or maybe, well, they have great discipline.
Yeah, but look at the next danger zone, right dead smack in the middle, and that's where how many teams? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential teams that are in that red zone. They do need to be careful. It goes away now, but this is a smaller circle. It's going to make it extremely tight, considering there's 10 teams still left alive.
Look, we have factory inside of this circle. We can ensure a lot of vertical chaos right in this small little building. We can understand that probably a lot of people would be inside the factory or they would just avoid it like a plague. Whoever's smart enough, and I think that is going to be Loud because he's pretty much inside of Clock Tower. He will make full use of the containers that is just right outside of Clock Tower, somewhere in the southeastern side, and just hold it in there. But that could also be a very vulnerable spot because anyone from the southern side, they can still kind of wrap around, play around the extremities and get themselves to Clock Tower if, well, they're smart enough.
And LGDS, or AKA Goddess, they're just kind of sticking around, bunkering down. Everybody's taking a certain part of the factory. Right now, it's just with different little pieces. You're getting some sort of shots in. Evos and MR5, Godkill are exchanging firefight right now, but nobody's really hitting their shots considering it's just so far away.
It does seem like some shots is going to be happening inside the factory. The time turner being popped up by Java, as well as a couple of glue walls coming in from First Raiders. They're just trying to lob in the grenades. They're trying to find something on the side of Fluxo. Would they be able to get it out though? But it does seem like it's just going to be an instant jump in, coming in from the opponent's side. Darko is holding his own, but unfortunately I don't think that he will be able to hold it out all by himself though. Jumper coming from the back. It doesn't seem like FR, they are going to go down without a fight just yet. Joker comes in the nick of time. They will be able to successfully resurrect the two other remaining characters just because of this one player. Fluxo, Japa, he's dead. Godkill, the last member remaining here within factory. This is definitely not the answer that you're looking for, especially since Holler, well, he's cheering for Fluxo.
Yeah, and that was just a really bad engagement. They were sticking together. They thought they could go together, and they were just outclassed on that one. Sometimes you get unlucky. You're not able to hit your shots, and that's what's going to happen here. But Godkill, he's getting a knock on Tika right there. That was a pretty nice shot, but he's kind of by himself. He does need to be careful because he doesn't want to expose himself.
More of the circle is going to be, shown, is going to be at the northwestern side of the factory. Everyone is just going to be scurrying themselves in. But understandably, from how Free Fire works and how most of the players work, they will always wait for the last remaining member, or rather last remaining time, to jump right in. In the meantime, Fluxo, they are out.
Yeah, that's a pretty massive one. They were tournament favorites. They were my favorite, losing out and getting, I think we're going to see like 1 point or 2 points. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But, nonetheless, they're in not a great spot there. But look at the rest of them. Loud is hanging on a thread. HQ Esports has Tyson. He's the only one left. Evo says 3. Ace says 3 as well. And it's going to get super tight as we get into the next circle.
This, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm talking about when it is the vertical chaos that is about to happen. For now, First Raiders, total of 8 kills, HQ Esports eliminated by Street. Evos, they are heading somewhere. It does seem like they're going to play around the verticality, just going to be playing by the extremities, just by a little bit. As the Cruz, he does have a grenade launcher, by the way. He manages to bring Bruce down, coming in from Goddess. Make that 2! 2 of them has been eliminated, 1 of them knocked down. We're going to be looking at one last member, and it is going to be ETA. What exactly must he do to hold himself up? But in the meantime, what we're talking about Goddess's last member, Loud's last member is still alive though.
Yeah, and Skyrix here, he's got 2 kills already. He is the lesser-known cousin of Skillrex right there, and he's got 2 kills. He's leading his team. They've got 3 right now, and they're getting some firefight action here as they're trading shots with Gaddis here.
And it's for now. This is probably going to be the last circle. It is just going to be centered right on top of, Phoenix Force. They are just holding it down right in the middle, bunkering down. They do have some crates for themselves, but inside the factory though, this is madness. This is madness. Joker, this is going to be the last member remaining. Darko currently HP is all the way down low as he's slowly bleeding to death, and that is going to be 1 member down from FR as Joanna coming in from the side of Phoenix. They're holding well, man. They are really holding well. Phoenix Force, even though they are in the center, no one is attacking them, or rather they are the one that's just really been putting quite a lot of effort onto the opponent's side. Skyrix takes 1 down, Condemn from BTS, he's down. We do have Batney. He's going to be looking at quite a lot of the opponents. A lot of the glue wall just going to be deployed as well, as he hops himself right on top of the boxes, trying to get himself in the next circle, because this is the point of time where this is circle number 5.
Yeah, this is going to be a massive one. Everybody's starting to engage right now. Phoenix Fire, Kronos is actually doing a flanking action from the north. There's just firefights all around, and the Cruise is just tearing it up right now. Loud has been eliminated.
Oh, as Vasny, he's currently being knocked down, coming in from Phoenix Force. We have 4 we still only have 3 teams left. Silence, Team Ace, and Phoenix Force, they are just holding themselves in. Team Ace is the kill leader. Phoenix Force outside of the play zone. You can pretty much see that Zamaro is lobbing it on grenades like a boss. And quarter kill coming in is just making things more and more crazy as Joanna picks himself up with a triple. What is going to be looking at a quadra? Yes, we will! A quadra kill definitely going to be credited over to the side of Joanna. Naruto gets himself 3 total kills as well. As everyone else, they are just going to be huddling themselves right in the center of the circle as we do have Team 8. Naruto just going to be getting himself a kill right onto the Silence. The Silence going to go down on the third place with 2 versus 2. This is going to be the last match coming in as Team 8 is just doing whatever that they can. And unfortunately, just completely shut down. Coming in by Phoenix Force as Team 8 get themselves down. Phoenix Force gets themselves with the total booyah. Now that is what I call a booyah. A prime example being set by Phoenix Force as they held their ground all in the middle of the map. Everyone is just scurrying around like little ants, and yet they still came up on top despite being the one that is, well, in the middle.
I mean, that was absolute chaos in the end, and I was having a hard time telling exactly what everything was happening, but I saw at least 4 different players, I think 2 from Phoenix Force that got, quad kills themselves, which is going to be absolutely massive. I want to see exactly the number of kills that everyone got, because I think they're going to have a hard time finding out the top 3 with all of this.
This is going to be tough. There is absolutely no way that I can even put up some math at the top of my head. I mean, they call me Math Track for a reason, but, well, I can't put it out. Like, who have the most amount of kills?
To be honest, that was the thing. It was just so chaotic. I wasn't really sure because once I looked up, I think the Cruz or Joanna, I think one of those 2 players definitely had one. That was just an insane game, and you saw what happened. Like that circle converged. I think there was 6 or so teams, and then left and right, everybody was dying.
Well, one thing's for sure is despite the fact that First Raiders got out, well, I think around 6th place or something like that, they have got massive amount of kills. This is very different from the play-ins. Even for example, if you were to be knocked down in 6th place, you hardly have any kills. Probably 0, 1, or even 2. But this time, looking at First Raiders, they got knocked down somewhere below 3rd place that I know. And I think they've got 8.
Yeah. I think so too. It was definitely around that number. And here's the thing. I mean, you're talking about how play-ins had less teams and all that stuff. The grand finals had 12 teams, and you're just seeing the absolute chaos. But here's the thing. When you saw teams like Fluxo try to go in, be the aggressor, take a team fight 4-on-4, and then the fact that they lost that one, that's absolutely massive, right? You have to ensure that you're hitting your shots, you're making sure that everybody's checking the corners, making sure that you're hitting the right people, and you're focusing down on the right side. Because if you get lost like that and you end up, what, 11th place, you're going home with 0? Not only 0 points, but 0 points in terms of kills as well.
Yikes, yikes, yikes. And of course, maneuvering around in Free Fire is one of the most important things that you should be looking at, because it's not all about marksmanship, you know? How you move, how you aim, and how the opponents move as well.
Yeah. No, everything needs to work in tandem, right?
Yes.
I mean, okay, I like the fact that when Fluxo had the Chrono Shield, and they decided right when it dropped it, they went it together. But hey, let's look at the match standings here. We're going to see Phoenix Force with that monster game. 11 kills, but the 23, plus the Booyah, obviously, with all that. Team Ace up second with 21 points. First Raiders at third, and tied with Silence. Pretty good showing for both of those teams.
And of course, well, First Raiders, despite only getting themselves a rank point of 4, they have gotten themselves with a total of 12 points because they have 8 kills apparently, not 6. And of course, Silence, they were the ones that ended off with 3rd place. But unfortunately, they don't have enough kill points as compared to First Raiders. It is 12 and 12. And First Raiders and Silence, they are neck and neck. So the games is still pretty close.
Yeah, so okay, one of my favorite things was that Kronos from Loud. I gotta give him props. He was the last man standing for the longest period of time, and he got him 8 points, but he's not as good as the Cruz here, who got MVP with 7 kills for Phoenix Force.
His name has been popping up like hot pancakes, and not just the Cruz. Joanna is also another member that have got quite a bit of kills to his name. Okay. But, well, Joker? He's got 6 kills coming in from First Raiders. Team Ace, Naruto, have got a total of 5 kills.
Yeah, and there were definitely other players that had 4 kills. I know there were at least another one from Phoenix Force. I wasn't sure the exact breakdown, and mind you, this is just kills galore. There's just, what, too many players, 48 players. I mean, it's just absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what happens when the circle just converges right on top of Factory, right? There's so many grounds to cover. There's so many covers, literally, whereby you can't get caught by the opponents as long as you just look for your 6. Someone got your 6, you're good. Until the circle pretty much forces you out of the circle. And that is kind of like what Phoenix Force did. They don't rely on Factory itself. They find themselves outside of Factory, and thus, if worst comes to worst, the worst situation is that they have to run inside the Factory. I think that is okay.
Yeah.
But for the others, if they have to run out of Factory, Phoenix Force, they have already bunkered down. They already made themselves at home. They can just rule out everyone else.
Yeah, and that's going to be some good strategy as we go into future games. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back with match 2 right away.
É o fluxo, velho, meu parceiro. Eram pessoas que me assistiam, meus fãs e tudo mais, e hoje tá brilhando junto comigo. Quem sabe você aí também não segue o fluxo. Tamo junto.
I can't wait to test this out in the game. Wow, this is cool.
Guys, strap yourselves in for a brand new racing and gaming collaboration.
McLaren and Free Fire have teamed up to bring exclusive McLaren skins to the Free Fire game. Stay tuned on how to unlock these in-game.
Hello and welcome back to the Free Fire World Series Singapore 2021. My name is Holler and this is Abstract. And we saw a monster game by Phoenix Force by pulling out 25 points in that one. Second place was Ace. First Raiders was third. Is it over already?
Of course not. For all our friends out there, we still have a total of 5 games to go. So what's happening is that we have only completed in Bermuda. We then will be looking at Kalahari and then back at Purgatory, and it's just gonna go on a cycle. But of course, before we even jump into all the other games, a big shout out and big thank you over to ROG, as the ROG phone and the ROG headset is the official gaming gear of the Free Fire World Series Singapore 2021, whereby all of the players behind, they are all using them.
Yeah, and they're all using it. Unfortunately, they didn't let us use any. I don't know why. I'm a little personally insulted by that. But I'm attacked by that. But we're going to go into Kalahari up next. Now, we saw the first one. We saw some strategies that didn't work. But like, what, in your opinion, was like the biggest standout, at least in match 1?
Well, Fluxo not being able to flex, so...
Yeah, all right. I'll be doing the dad jokes, but go on.
Okay. But one of the most important thing is that Loud, they have made their way over to the northern side, and it doesn't seem like they are always alone in the northern side. As I believe that Silence as well as Evil's Divine, they kind of did the same thing by heading over to slightly in the northern area. But I don't know if this is going to be a pattern by Evil's as well as Silence. This is something that we can probably only see in Kalahari, or rather I would like to call them Calamari, and as well as in Purgatory, or I would like to call Burgatory.
Okay, all right. I think somebody is hungry because that's all you're talking about. Fit me! And now you're actually making me hungry. But nonetheless, we've got the thumbs up so far, and it looks like they're fired up and good to go here. But it looks like we want to continue on. Like, I think the teams that did not place well, they really need to step it up. They need to change it up. Maybe that was a warm-up game, I'm not sure. But they really didn't seem to hit their shots. They got completely wiped out. If you look at it from the play-ins to today, you're seeing just how decisive and how quickly they destroy teams.
Well, this is a completely different ball game, right? Once the teams, they want to execute for something, they go all out. They don't just go, half-ass it and just kind of go in and out. No, I don't want to do this kind of thing. Maybe we saw something like that from GameFam, but because they jumped in the most unexpected area and they happened to find one other team.
Yeah,
and that's understandable.
Yeah, he got caught off. You know, he was by himself. He did. I don't remember the player's name. Excuse me. Sorry. He died so early.
Yeah,
Zach. He was the first one. First blood and all that. And so yeah, put their team in a very bad, precarious situation, and you kind of saw what happened, and you can't really continue to fight with those things. But if we're looking at some of the stats that we saw, I mean, Ace had a monster game. They had 12 kills, even more so than the #1 team, the Booyah team with Phoenix Force. I mean, 12 to 11, it's minor, but Ace really stepping up here.
This is not a big difference at all, if you ask me. But of course, Phoenix Force with a total of 11 kills in that game. That is pretty insane. Ace as well, a total of 12, but they're just losing out. At least for Ace, they're just kind of losing out a little bit because of the placement points.
Yeah.
So these two can definitely be great grand rivals. So maybe game number 2 in Kalahari, we might be looking at something completely similar, or maybe something completely different.
Yeah, okay. Well, one thing about Team Ace is you cannot sleep on this team. Yes, they got second place, but this is one of those teams that had one of the worst regular season starts ever, right? Everything was very inconsistent. They were not doing very well until they got a coach. His name is Prof Tato. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But once he came in, he really just added a little stability. He helped the team really coach them up and everything. And they ended up 4th place in the regular season, which put them in prime position to do well.